spoken a lot about the line speed and the New Zealand defensive systems and everything, and the intensity that they play with. You must be very proud of your guys tonight for what they did on defence.
No, absolutely, Gav. I mean, that's one of the work-ons that we had on tour. You know, we experienced, big time intensity and line speed from their defence, and that put us in a lot of pressure, on tour, and we made a lot of mistakes, and that's something that we worked incredibly hard on tour and this week, and it paid off. Look, again, we're still making mistakes defensively, but it's new to us, and we certainly put them under pressure, especially in that second half. I thought our line speed was excellent, and the decision making from certain individuals on defence put their big ball carriers under pressure. They're a big side. We spoke about the X factor players. And it's good to see our boys knocking them back. And getting them, behind the advantage line. Where, if we just sat on the line and we give them momentum, they show what they can do. They, 3 of their tries came from offloads where we probably weren't as aggressive as we should have been. But certainly a much improved defensive performance from us tonight.
Any relief, Coach? Any sense of relief after snapping your losing streak? Surely.
Well, look, I mean, it's it's not easy taking 4 losses in a row. And a 5th would have been tough to swallow. But there's no, we're just going to keep working hard. To be honest, that's what we're about. And the boys dug deep. I thought at 19-10, our backs were against it, and that's when I felt that we actually really started to play. When the chips were down, and they scored early in that second half, and all of a sudden the team sort of kicked into gear. We started to execute our game plan. We started to get more aggressive on defence. Definitely finished off a stronger team. I felt our conditioning definitely came through in the end there. So, happy. It's not so much of a relief. Just we've always believed that we're a good team and that we can, perform when we do the good things right, or the simple things right, and I think that's when that period after 19-10, that's when we started to play.
So at that 19-10 stage, what flipped the switch for you guys? Because suddenly that intensity was back again, and you took them on tactics and just did things a bit differently like you have been earlier in the season.
I just think that we believed throughout the game that we would come through this one, but I think that last more we could have kicked for poles and the forwards asked for more, that kind of belief, that kind of backing, and the whole team backed it up, and then we got the try, we got in the changing room, we weren't tired, and the coach is positive as usual, and we just got back and we started want to start again, like continuing the momentum, and small things in the game, And we made a couple of mistakes, but you could feel that the belief and the aggression was there the whole time. I couldn't fault the boys. So I just think we wanted it today. We wanted it, and same as on tour, we wanted it, but we make stupid mistakes. But today we learned. Every time we make a mistake, we learn from it. So yeah, I thought that was very good.
Rob, you had a bye when you came back. Sia, speaking about that belief, was that a major part of discussions as you prepared for this game?
Look, like I've said to you guys before, I mean, the tour was tough result-wise, but there were lots of positives on that tour, and if we kept on working hard and both mentally and physically, and we just kept believing that we'll come right, that the result will come, and the last 2 weeks, it's just been positive chat amongst the boys. We've been a bit honest with each other, which is also good. But like I said, the mental aspect was our biggest challenge, over the last 2 weeks. We always believe what we can do, and I think that we probably lost our mojo on attack a little bit, and we had opportunities in the first half which we didn't convert, and again in the second half we had, a few opportunities where we should have, got away, run away with it. But again, just when you a little bit low in confidence, it's the boys struggle to get going. So, but like I said, that after 19-10, all of a sudden you could just see the team kick in. The kick started to work, and our defence was good, and we started to carry well, and the aggression, like Sia said, was back in the game, and that intensity. You could just see the tempo just picked up. And it's tough to do that against New Zealand teams, That's what they thrive themselves on. So I felt that we matched them on that. and certainly in that last sort of 20 minutes, we certainly picked it up, which was great.
Your opinion on Dylan?
Yeah, again, probably, it's tough for him to slot in at 10, and it's. I felt that he did a good job, I felt that maybe we lost a bit of shape in that first half, but certainly when we started to get a bit of front football, that's when Dylan comes into his own, So there's certain things that we can always work with him, but again, for him to start at 10, having not played there for a while, it was a bold selection for us to go with him at 10, but I felt that it worked out in the end, and he's a great player for us. He's playing outstanding rugby at the moment, so. As I say, that last sort of 20-30 minutes, that's when he sort of came into our own. I felt that the bench really performed well tonight. They made a huge impact, and everyone was just calm. They knew what they had to do, and really pleased.
Rob, you sort of hinted beforehand that we all know that the Blues can be a little bit hot and cold.
Yeah.
But today they really did.
They were good.
I mean, they were very quite physical today.
Yeah, no, well, they're big boys. I mean, they've got some proper players in that setup, and I was watching them during the warm up, and you can see that they were certainly focused and they were up for this game. They're only here for one game, and they wanted to make a big difference. I think that they knew that we were going to challenge them physically, and they certainly were up for it. I mean, that little incident on the line just showed that they were in for it, and so were we. So we matched them. They're a big side, and they've got some big X factor players, and I felt that we nullified that. And like I said, they had 3 good offloads which led to those tries, but if we can stop those, then it's a different story. So certainly the Blues were good tonight, and I felt their defence was really good. I felt that our analysis said that they probably could leak a few tries here and there, but they certainly were pretty impressive defensively to keep us out.
Were you concerned in that, because in the first quarter of an hour probably you had all the ball and you were camping
Yeah.
out there, and that's when their defence was particularly good and they were very resilient.
No, exactly, and also in the second half as well, they kept us out. When we kept having our way at them, and it's credit to them. But like I said, I feel that we probably lost a little bit of confidence on attack. But it certainly came right in that last 20 or 30 minutes, that balance that we had in our game, through the power up front and, those little half breaks, amongst the backs. And once or twice I felt that we probably unnecessarily offloaded in the first half, which put us under pressure in our own half. But the decision making was far better in the second half, and, and that allowed us to get back into the game and put them under pressure.
Robbie, the only South African side is beaten 2 New Zealand sides.
Yeah.
That's an overview.
Yeah.
Playoff time. That will obviously give you an advantage.
Yeah, look, it certainly gives us confidence, but it just shows, all these New Zealand teams are tough to play against. Whether it's, we've experienced it away from home, and at home, obviously gives us a bit of a boost, playing in front of our fans at Newlands. But every New Zealand team is tough to beat. We gave ourselves a few goals in the beginning of the year. We said that we had to win 7 out of 7, before we went on tour, and we were 1 game short when we lost to the Lions. And then one of our personal goals was to win 4 out of 5 of the New Zealand teams, knowing that we had to play 3 away from home. And certainly we said that we had to win 2 at home against New Zealand teams, which we've achieved. So, it just gives the guys a bit of belief, a lot of people question the conditioning aspect of South African teams. I felt that we finished really strong. We were fit. I think it's the mental side of just playing under that fatigue and making decisions under pressure. That's where we as South African teams are struggling. Where tonight, I felt that our decision making was far better towards the end of the game. So, it does give the boys a bit of confidence, but our focus obviously now is, look, we've got to enjoy this win, we've got to celebrate the win, but then obviously the focus now towards the Sharks.
How important does it become to finish strong now in the next remaining games? You stay on this winning track ahead of a quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge for us. That's what we've been talking about before we came back from tour. And it's going to be tough going to the Sharks. And we had to work hard the past 2 weeks to get back where we were, and we're going to work very hard to make sure we maintain it and go to the break with the win and come back home. We've got 3 more games left, and we've got 2 away. So this game is important for us this coming week.
Rob, Ewan's yellow card was potentially a big moment in the game.
Yeah.
I think it did hurt you on the scoreboard a bit
Yeah.
as well. Is there anything he could have done differently in that situation?
Jeez, it's tough, eh? I mean, everyone's having a go there. I even see it climbed
He couldn't
in.
have done anything.
It's hard. Both teams. Like Gav said, both teams are certainly up for it. I think that's, you push someone in the face, it is a yellow card. I mean, that's the law. But there was a lot of pushing and shoving in people's faces. When you're getting strangled and whatever, it's hard to defend yourself. But it is a yellow card, and it put us under pressure. They scored 2 tries over that period, so we didn't. We didn't convert when they had a yellow card, which is something that we have to work on. We need to understand that they're numbered down in the back line, and we kept on trying to hammer away at them up front, where we should have just let the ball go. So I felt that they were smarter than us when it came to the yellow card, and they were more effective, and they got their opportunities. But that's rugby. I mean, it's great to see that both teams are at it. And I think there's healthy respect there. You could see everyone afterwards when it broke up. Sonny Will's in. They're all in. The Only brothers. It's great. That's rugby.
Coach, just 2 questions. One, your thoughts on Ciabelo's game tonight, and then the scrums were pretty solid, but as soon as Walker Lowe came on, seemed to be turned into dominance. He surely is a hot prospect.
Yeah, look, I mean, firstly on Ciabello, it's his first game back. He showed a little bit of intent here and there. There's still a few work-ons with him. Positionally, I felt that, a couple of times he was out of position. But again, he's been playing sevens the whole year, so and he's been out with injury. So that's something that we've got to work on. With Walker, he's been destructive all year at scrum time. To be fair, I think that, they dropped a guy out of the scrum, to defend our backs, and that's what allowed us to get dominance. But he certainly is scrumming well. His general movement is great. His defence, which was a work on for him in the pre-season, he had to lose a bit of weight. But for us, internally he got man of the match against the Canes, and he's playing phenomenal rugby. And it's great to see that both him and France, thought France as well actually played well. He had some great carries, good work rate. So both of them, stand up, individuals for Springbok selection going forward.
I see also a nice little distraction coming up with that Springbok camp during the week, and also the announcement. You must be a bit excited with that.
Yeah, I'm excited and nervous, but obviously I want to play well next week against the Sharks. So I'll enjoy the camp and work as hard as I can when I'm there. We're all looking forward. We're nervous. We're all hoping that we do make the cut, but we're really looking forward to the game next week against the Sharks. So, but while I'm there, I'm going to work hard and make sure that I give myself the best opportunity to make it. But I'm looking forward to coming back and finishing strong here, so I can put all my focus there if I make the cut.
See, you were flat on your back with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
You don't feel anything now?
No.
You wanted to go play again?
No, I was fine. It was just I just hit my head against his hip, so it was just a hard hit. I wasn't concussed or anything like that, because I remembered exactly when it happened, who it happened. So yeah, because they still told me to go out. I just wanted to go out.
So
again.
the doc told you to go off?
No, I was
No,
fine.
no,
It was
no,
30
the doc
seconds.
never-
No, the
doc
dog
never
said I
said
must
that.
stay. Someone else came in and said I must go out. If the dog said, I would have walked out. But yeah, I was fine though. Nothing hectic.
Robert? Yeah, I thought we were going to start. Just going to ask you before you played the Chiefs, you had the Lions, who you sort of felt were almost like a Kiwi team, and then you had another. So you've had basically, I think, 6 games in a row against Kiwi teams in your view. Is there a change of focus now that you're playing against the Sharks? I mean, now you're going into a couple of games against South African teams, because you're playing the Bulls again after the break.
Yeah, look, Gav, I mean, it's we've had quite a tough run. You think about it, we've played 6 of the top sides. If you look at the log over the last couple of weeks, starting with the Chiefs and then the Lions and Crusaders, Highlanders, Hurricanes, and the Blues were above everybody else also on log points. So it's been a tough 6 weeks or 7 weeks, including the bye for us. We've had to really dig deep and work hard, but the focus won't change. Regardless of the opposition. It's the Sharks present different challenges to Kiwi sides, but we've chosen our path, Gav. And we're going to continue with that route. And I'm just glad that it came through, especially in that last 30 minutes. That's who we are and what we are. and you know, and that's what we're going to focus on. You know, like I said, you know, it's the Sharks will present different challenges. You know, they're tough up front and they're a big mauling side. They've got a good kicking game, but you know, it's no matter what dangers they present. You know, we've still got to keep working on what we're trying to create here and do here. So, and that's been our success. You know, thus far this season.
Just lastly, nothing on the injury front, and everyone unscathed?
No, all good. I think that I can remember. Maybe I got hit on the head. I think we're good for the first time. Touch wood. For the first time in a while, we're looking okay. It's good, you know. It's good to have these guys back. You know, it's good to have Delenda back. You know, I thought he was good. You know, it's good to have Ronald Alstead, who had a blinder for the province side today. You know, Juan de Jong, you know, experienced guys with, you know, lots of attitude. You know, they just bring a lot of energy to the side. So we actually spoke about it during the week. For the first time on Thursday, we had a near full squad, you know, barring the fly-off situation. We're pretty much back to full strength. So, you know, that's great news.